Good evening. Welcome to Toma Sessions Live with Richie Cruz, your host, and to do an introduction. Me and our guest today go way back. When I was doing some events for Bacardi way back 2013, I think. The first time I met him was in Shangri-La EDSA when he was doing a masterclass in one of the bars in EDSA Shangri-La Hotel. And then after that, he was our head judge for Bacardi Legacy. And it was an honor, basically, to be judged by this fine gentleman that we're having as our guest in Toma Sessions right now. And well, to introduce him formally, so well, this our muy simpático guest actually comes all the way from Buenos Aires. A Latino at heart, okay? But he's not Ricky Martin, he's just Latino. By heart, he looks like, and the vibe is, you know. And, well, another thing is, another of his they call this background is he used to be the global brand ambassador of Bacardi. And well, we'll find out more. And I, well, as far as my research is concerned, he is the proponent of Bacardi Legacy, the competition that reached Philippine soil, you know. And also, as from the industry, he worked for the Bramble as a bar manager in Edinburgh, in Scotland. And he moved from Scotland, he moved to Singapore, okay, to lead Proof and Company. Well, we'll find out more about Proof and Company later as we proceed with our interview. And after that, now he is living with his cat and Paulina, you know, back in Europe, somewhere in Europe, which we'll find out again more as we chat with our guest. And actually, this will be I've been always excited to have his rum here in the Philippines because I believe only one bar has this rum. It's in Buccaneers, you know, but it's only like 0.10. I don't know if it's finished now. but the last time I tasted that, I checked it, it's 0.10. So I mean, it's really good. I'm excited. In fact, Simon Cot is here. Simon, so if you plan on bringing this rum in Philippine soil, that would be really great. And also, okay, before I introduce him formally, so Jerry Boy is here from Shangri-La Lobster Bar. And, well, hopefully Ajit will join us. I think he knows that we're doing a session. So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the muy simpático Mr. Daiquiri, Mr. Lover's Rum, David Cordoba.
Thank you very much.
Gracias. Thank you very much, David.
Good evening.
Oh, very good. Good evening. Okay. So, yeah, can you, for the audience here right now, can you tell us something about yourself apart from what I've said? Who is David Cordoba?
Who I am as a person, or sorry, is
what a person, and what was your career path over the years?
Okay, very simple. I come in from a very, very small town called San Miguel de Tucumán in Argentina, which is a small province on the northwest. When I was 11, I moved to Buenos Aires and grew up there to pretty much when I was 26. I graduated in honors of advertising and graphic design. That was my career. This is what I wanted to do, advertising, something related to creativity. Time in university, I kind of like going out, nightclub, you know, when you are a student, you don't have enough money to go out and enjoy yourself. I mean, the best way to do it is let's find a job in a bar where I can be in the middle of the action, have maybe a drink or two, talk to everyone, and be part of the nightclub, you know, and everything started there. And it was almost like on a small seat I grow up, and kind of like I learned. I learned my first step of being a cocktail bartender thanks to a friend of mine called Diego Cal. He owns a bar back in the day. It was open for about 14 years, and that bar now is closed. But it was a great speakeasy style bar. We are talking about 1994, no, 97, something like that.
Ah, wow, really? Wow, okay.
We're talking
yeah,
about
no worries, 97, wow. That's history, that's history. I mean, there's no speakeasy yet here.
Yeah, it was like you couldn't find the place, there was no sign or anything like that. I learned my first step behind the bar, and I fell in love. With time, I continued working on the bar, and then I moved to UK. And during my time in UK, when you arrive and it's your secondary language, or pretty much you start, your language is, your English is not developed. You try to find out jobs where you can, and advertising is not going to happen because it's a very cultural thing, advertising. And I have the opportunity to work in a Latino nightclub, kind of bar, nightclub, or south place. When it was not exactly what I was looking for, but it worked out very well. I learned a lot about the culture. I pour my pints of beer, IPAs, lagers, you name it. It was good. We have a lot of fun. And then over the years, I moved to proper cocktail bars where I wanted to be working. And I started from the very bottom, to be honest. Being in a bar, being a Latino, I remember my first proper general manager. It was like, you're not making any drinks without me tasting first. Means I needed to prove that I was good to make drinks. And what I done, like anybody else, my path, it was very simple. Like at that time, it was no Facebook, it was no cocktail, there was no cocktail competitions. It was very small competitions. And the only way I can make two things. One is about making career progression. You have to feel that you're doing some progression from the bartender to bar supervisor to the bar manager, and then maybe you own your bar. On the same time, for me, it was very important to able to communicate and be able to express what I'm coming from. And that's why I started competing in every competition. You name it. Vodka, gin, vermouth, rum, whatever competition you can name it. I was in Scotland competing every single one. Many ones I never won. I came second in so many, and then I won a few. And I have the privilege to make a name of myself. And that is what Bacardi heard about me, heard that it was a Latino guy because they was looking for someone, that it was recognized by the industry, that it was Latino, that can speak Spanish and English, recognized by the industry, and that's what they come on. We started the interviews about to become a global brand ambassador. But, I really shortcut everything it's much story behind,
No. Actually, this is pretty new for me. So basically, you got thirsty also in bartending, basically. So you joined competitions. In this aspect, I'm pretty curious. Let's jump right to it. Who coined Mr. Daiquiri? Because that's a bold. Who baptized you? Did you baptize yourself as Mr. Daiquiri? Or did somebody baptize you as Mr. Daiquiri?
That is the only person I can say, and truly is Daniele Dalla Pola. Daniele, when he used to live in Bologna, when I used to live in London, I came to see him often, maybe every 2 months, sometimes every 2 weeks. I love Daniele. He's a very good friend. I love to bet. And
yes.
he one day pretty much introduced me, picked me up, sent an airport, Mr. Daiquiri, and kind of like that resonate over time with different people. And it was brilliant because, like, at the end of the day, you know, for me, it was, I'm David Cordoba. That's it. And my surname is quite simple in Spanish, but it's very difficult for people to understand. David Cordoba means it was kind of, it's almost like a, you know what I mean? It's, I have to tell everybody, Mr. Daiquiri, resume everything. Pretty much. It's like a label. That's it. Done. It's my favorite drink. I feel honored. Thank you, Daniela, for doing it. And I took over. I think it was kind of like a nice gesture for him to do it, and I wanted to honor that. And that's why that's the name, Mr. Daiquiri.
But how? So that means ever since when you met Daniela, did you make him a daiquiri? That's why it stuck with him. I mean, you could have made him a Cuba Libre. You've been Mr. Cuba Libre at some point.
Daiquiri is my favorite drink. Daiquiri is our favorite drink.
Okay.
Pretty much, I was, whenever I wear, and anybody in the world, I always order a daiquiri. Always. It was no matter where, I would go to any bar, and the first thing I would do is I would order a daiquiri. Why? Because it's kind of like, you don't need that many ingredients, and maybe you test the bartender, you know? Let's go back. Back when I was in Scotland, we're talking about 2002, we used to drink Manhattans. And if somebody make a good Manhattan, you know that bartender know how to work, or you know how to make a good drink. And I took that, and I realized, all right, I like daiquiris. I will order daiquiris wherever I go. And pretty much that became like the Mr. Daiquiri, because I always order a daiquiri, one or two. And even if I don't want it, because some days you feel like, can I have a glass of milk, or maybe a pina colada, or maybe a rum and soda? No.
Yeah.
Mr. Daiquiri, yes, Daiquiri is coming. Thank you very much. What are you going to do? It's like somebody offer, somebody
Yeah, exactly. Okay, when did you really go to, because I remember you have your own standard with the ice, right? So some people doesn't know this, but okay guys, for those who are watching right now, so there is a David Cordoba standard in making a daiquiri. So did you really do a lot of trial and error with this one, or did you research it, having two types of ice with this daiquiri?
I think it's all about many aspects of it. One is about researching, of course, researching the original recipes. Other one is about try and error, and acquire styles or different things for different people. And I think it's one of the main things. Ulysses,
Ulysses from Bacanes.
I really want
exactly. Ulysses, welcome Ulysses. I was actually telling him. Yeah. Actually, David, your rum is in his bar. You're the one, I think the only lover's rum is in Buccaneers. So Ulysses, what's now? Last time I checked, it's 0.10. Yeah, no, Simon Pot.
Distributor. Yes, we need it.
Simon Pot. Yeah,
perfect. Simon.
Okay, there you go. Yes, I'm happy.
That's perfect.
Simon, listen, Simon.
One of the things regarding the daiquiri is, all right, the standards that I liked as when you're making my daiquiri is very simple. For example, you can choose the rum that you want, any rum. I personally prefer a younger rum, a lighter rum that do a refreshing drink, because the daiquiri is a refreshing drink. I use sugar instead to use sugar syrup. The standard is why? Because you can control the levels of acidity and sweetness. Very, very simple. Similar to when you're making a cake. I follow up on that idea of making cakes. You know, you're always exactly the same thing. Consistency, to make it always the right thing. them is fresh lime. I like to make a la minute. You know, you cut, you squeeze, you have a refreshing drink. You have, you know, some people say you have a little bit of oil of the skin. Yeah, sometimes the aromatic is not going to change that much, and it's not going to impact that much on a flavor. It's not like a very simple drink or like martinis that or the martini that you add a little bit too much oil of the lemon, come a little bit too sour or too bitter, to be honest. And then the double ice came through a good colleague of mine back in UK. That he was very good. He's amazing. One of the best persons I work with, professional person I follow up, and I saw a little bit as a mentor, a friend, and a guide. He's called David Baskins. He's now living. He left UK, living in France. I haven't seen it for a very long time, but he was the first person to research into the old Cuban classics and really put the double ice. It makes sense. You put the double ice really the right dilution. But as anybody, you always look it into why it's been done this way, why is it done that way. And my only explanation coming along is when you have a cylinder, like the shaker. I'm going to use the bottle. This is your cylinder, cubes that go on inside the cylinder, and it's going to create. They're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you can make in that cylinder. But on the size of the cube is space that you don't fill it with anything. And when you shake it, it's a space, and it takes a long time to this cube break or start rotating to make it the drink colder. At the end of the day, if you add small pieces of ice around it, you cover more surface and you chill the drink and the shaker faster.
Equally.
The dilution is right.
Okay, and faster. Okay. Yep.
You know?
Okay.
And that was kind of like that was the idea behind the double ice and how it works. Sometimes works depending on the quality of ice you have. And you need to shake it. You really, really need to shake it and making sure that the drink is cold. Because the daiquiri is such a beautiful and delicate drink that has to be, you need to get it to the table cold, refreshing. It's almost like in 2 sips, the daiquiri is gone and you order the second one. Always responsible drinking. But, you know.
Yes, of course. All right, but is there a specific shaker, like with that kind of formula, the 2 types of ice, so it's preferable to use a cobbler rather than a tin to tin or Boston shaker? Or does it matter?
This is a great question. I'm going to be kind of like super clear with this. I normally never make one daiquiri at a time. I always make 2 daiquiris. Means if you have the cobbler or the 3-piece shaker, it's beautiful. It's great. You can do the technique and all that. I felt, in my opinion, that it's almost like a constraint, the space that you have. And you only can make with 2 daiquiris and all that. I normally do 2 daiquiris in every shaker all the time, no matter what. If I'm drinking only one, I will offer, or maybe I will put it for later on. I believe in the drink is to share. I never make one. I kind of like, I don't know, maybe in the last 10 years, I maybe 3 times I make only one drink for somebody. But I don't see many difference. I like the tin because it's faster, it's easier. I like to have the Hawthorne strainer and the tea strainer. When you're using the 3 pieces or the cobbler, it's more very ceremonial and it's lovely as well. But I think I use it accordingly to who you're making for and where you work. And some bars great, and other ones is like, oh man, I need to open up. Sometimes the cap doesn't want to open, and it's a shaker that had, I would say, a lot of people had a little bit problems with that shaker for some reason.
Okay, so it's the boss. Although in fact, I was trying to remember when you were doing your master classes in Manila. So if you were listening a while ago, right? You had a master class in heat in EDSA Shangri-La. I think I believe it would be using the Boston because okay, so since now everybody with although because if you're using the in terms of time, would it make have you tried it in terms of which makes a faster daiquiri? It's like, would you save more time? Because like you say, it's compact with the cobbler, and then the Boston has a wider or a more full motion.
The faster shaker to make. Okay, what we're talking about making a daiquiri faster is a lot of influence or a lot of things. One of them is about quantity of ice, how much ice you put, how many drinks you're making, one or two. Let's thinking about it. How long do you shake? I shake very long.
Yeah.
I don't care if somebody needs to wait another minute to make sure that the drink is alright. I like to make it super froze. If you want to accelerate the frozenness of the shaker, get a silver plated.
Okay.
Get Giancarlo Mantino just release with Urban Bar silver plated shakers, and that's perfect for what you wanted to do, because the silver is a good conductor. You know.
Yes. Okay, so all right, guys. Now you have inside scoop on the trivia about the daiquiri. Now I'm curious with the proofing company. So, why did you decide to go on handling this time? Okay. First of all, what is proofing company? Can you tell us like a brief on what proofing company is and what do you do? How many years has that been going on?
When I joined, it was a little bit smaller than what it is now. Proofing company is important distributor, and at the same time does consultancy for many. Started with at the very beginning started with simple bars, small bars, and then now changed hotels. Means it does quite a lot of things. They have a beautiful portfolio of amazing craft spirits for all around the world. And I joined then in 2015, I think. Yes, 2015 or 2014. I can't remember. I think it's there.
Maybe 15.
Just between one and
is
another.
that after you judged? After you judged me, did you join? After you judged Philippines, did you join or before?
No, I was when I judged Philippines, I was already in Singapore.
Okay, so that's after. So maybe we're talking of 2015.
Yeah,
I think 15.
I joined. Yeah, I joined then as portfolio director. My role was wonderful portfolio of different brands all around the world, and this then. Pretty much have a liaison with all these producers to help to reach the market in the right way, and be kind of like the connection between one ambassador to this. It was a challenge, a massive challenge, but like anything else, I suppose you're taking it and you embrace it. It's scary, is because in some cases you never done it, a certain part of the job, and other ones you feel very comfortable, and the rest is history.
Yeah, well, actually, I was about to ask you, how was the shift? From how long did it take you to adjust from being a global brand ambassador to handling a portfolio of brands? Because I'm pretty sure it's a different ballgame with just one. Well, no, although that being global brand ambassador, you're already part of a portfolio of different brands other than a rum, right? Now, but how does that?
I wasn't. When you've been like 7 years solidly in rum, now you're coming into brands that they were somehow your your competitors, and then you open up to other spirits that you haven't been exposed for a very long time, apart to using them in your cocktails for your presentations. Means coming in, it was almost like going back to the bar. I loved it. It was brilliant because I really need to rediscover that. But one part I understood very well is I could understand the key things about the each brand. What, almost like let's say I understood how each brand have their own identity and their own way to do things and their own goals and their own steps, and that was kind of easy. Over time, I really understood how this gin is completely and this one, and this rum is different than this vodka, and this vermouth is different than these bitters. It was brilliant, but it was not easy. It took 9 months. 9 months of maybe not many people know, but I struggled. I struggled quite a lot just to understand that.
Okay. Well, you did quite well. I mean, although the Philippines, I think you haven't really touched Philippine soil, no? Proof in general, if I'm not mistaken. But I heard, because I met Ethan, one of the Ethan, because there are two Ethans that are based in Singapore. The Ethan Liu and the other one that is based in Shanghai once upon a time. So yeah, proof was there. Okay. My next question is, what gave you normally for a bartender like us, our end goal to put up a bar, right? So in fact, even me, once upon a time, I really wanted to put up a bar, but then again, I ended up putting up a school and a bar here in my hometown, right? So, but school first rather than bar. But how about you? I mean, like right now, you have your own brand, so the rum, the Lover's Rum. But is that really something you wished ever since, or have you really also wanted to put up your own bar?
You right on the money, to be honest. When you get to a point, I need to give you a context to reply correctly. When you're traveling around the world as a global brand ambassador back in the day, you get to a point where it's beautiful, it's great, you're flying everywhere, 9 months of the year, you're going everywhere, you stay in hotels, you fly, great, and all that. You come back home and you're distraught, completely tired. Well, this is catching up over time. You get to a point where you get burnt out. And that burnout start making you thinking, what is the next step? Is one, do I want to continue doing this? And you're looking for options. And the options maybe in the company are not the ones that you really want to do, or you feel that you are ready for that. And them is the ones that you say, right, I want to open a bar. I want to go back into what I fall in love on the first time. And that happened, believe me. This is why Singapore coming along. I was in a point with one of my managers, or my kind of like the global director for Bacardi. We talk about it, what he wants to do, and he told me, like, look at David, what is your next step? What you want to do? Your career path. And I said, look, I want to open a bar. I have a great idea. I have this and that. And he put me in contact with all the friends, and I said, friends of him, and said, look at these guys are maybe your investors. Let's go for it. We discussed the places I thought it was a great place to open. And one of them said, look, let's open a bar in Singapore. And we started talking about it. I flew to Singapore. I talked to Paul Gavey, one of the owners for Proof & Company. At that time, it was only 28 Hong Kong Street. And he helped me out to go through the process of get information, the P&L and all that. And in the end, after 1 year of getting all the information, I realized I wasn't prepared. I'm going to be jumping into open a bar in Asia. This was 2012. Look at that. In Asia, with no background whatsoever of the culture or anything like that, with somebody else's money. that was scary enough, and I say, out.
Yes.
Then I realized the bar is beautiful, but it wasn't a wave of bars open up everywhere. In Singapore, in London, in you name it. It was bars all over the place everywhere. And that's what I realized if I open the bar, it's not going to be right now. It's going to be a bar later on. With this wave kind of like relax, and people decided they know what exactly they want. Yeah, because we're talking about open a bar, but you need consumers that follow you.
Yeah.
No consumers that are popping up from one bar to another one. And the rum come along thanks to a few conversations with friends that pretty much sparked the thing in my mind, and I realized, you know what? Could be. Why not? I work in a few projects to make kind of like limited editions things, and this come up. It was great. It was the rum business, or the lovers, is an amazing thing, but it's as difficult as opening a bar right now, today. It's exactly that. You know?
Okay. All right. So, well, I mean, things happen for a reason. Maybe who knows, in 5 years' time, once your flagship Lovers Rum is up and running, which we will discuss now soon. Be a lot of, Actually, my next question, you know this guy very well, the Prince. Okay. How long have you been lovers? How many years have you been friends?
We met with Ari, I think 2009, about 11 years ago, in Mexico, where I was organizing the global ambassador training. Means we bring all the ambassadors for Bacardi to Mexico to do a training. It was pretty much like a week training of getting everybody and train about rum, taken to sugarcane refinery, or not refinery, sugarcane mill, catch sugarcane, see the rum, taste the rums, everything. And I met Ariji there, and he's the best one to tell this story, because it's like, for me, it's kind of like, happens. Oh, he just joined perfectly, Ari. We're talking about you.
There you go, the boss.
Time. He always tells this story because he's a great storyteller, I have to say.
Oh yes, 100%.
What happened is, I'm gonna tell my version how I met Ari.
Yeah, Ari, listen.
We were in this ambassador training, and suddenly at the end of the day, at the end, everybody left, and suddenly Ari just said, "Oh no, I still have one more day." Something messed up with his flight. That is another story. And what happened is that, okay, I was organizing all the things, and because Ari was staying in town, I was the main host, and I wanted to host him, and I wanted to make sure he's all right. He was alone in Mexico. I said, all right, let's go. We're going to go. I think it was a Sunday. I still have pictures of all that time. I would need to go back now. And I said, I'm going to go for an Argentine steakhouse. And so okay, come along. And we ordered, at that time, like I think it was 1.5 or 1.2 kgs of meat. I'm sorry about that.
Wow, okay.
Ari says that is he
12 a.m. flight.
He was supposed to be flying the day before. And we ordered wine, we ordered starters, we ordered massive salad, and we ordered this. And Ari said, "Oh, no, I cannot eat this." It's like, you will not leave. I said to him, "You will not leave till we finish this." And actually, I was very surprised. He done it. We took 3 hours. It was an amazing 3 hours. And then I think we going to see Iron Man. Ari, that's correct. Malbec, of course. Malbec.
Iron Man movie. Okay.
And then we're going to. It was a great three and I I think there is where we connect very well, and
You bonded. Okay.
we bonded, and for me, Ari has been it's been more than a friend. It's almost like a part of the family, and we live together. We're traveling. Every time that what I used to, what I was in Bacardi, I want Ari to be part of the team, and
Yeah.
he was, he was available and he wanted to be part, and that's brilliant. And that's keeping, because don't forget about when you live in different countries, it is difficult.
Yes, yes. No, in fact, I've seen you guys. You're inseparable. Like I said, when I saw you in the heat when you're in your master class until eventually, I've been bringing Ari to the Philippines. I think twice already to do the advocacy program I started with Bacardi, the Bacardi University during that time. And then, yeah, but okay, just to follow up on that question, who initiated, okay, so you and Ari are business partners for Lovers Rum, correct?
Yeah.
If I'm not
Correct.
mistaken? Okay. So who initiated that? I mean, because we all know that sometimes friendship cannot be how do you call this, brought also in a business, because it's a different ballgame when we're talking of business,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But
yeah, absolutely.
yeah, so when did you two like have a long chat, had a long drink over daiquiri?
I think it's
know.
I think it started when we wanted to do something together with some other friends. It's a very, very long thing. It's not just about something that come up straight away. I think it was form of origin. When I want to open a bar, Origin was part of
Okay.
that straight away. It means we wanted to do. Hello.
Okay, so the signal is a bit crazy, but yeah, no, it's a very interesting story. So, okay, just before you continue, so Arijit was saying there in the comment, it was a very complex story, but in a nutshell, so is it just David and Arijit equals Lovers Rum?
Yeah. We are the
Okay.
founders of the Lovers. It's a long story behind, but we kind of like push through, and we make the decision to go no matter what, and make the brand, because
Okay.
it was kind of like.
So there's
this
no
is a
silent
long
partner.
story.
There's
We
no
have-
silent
we have-
partner. There's no.
No, we have investors, but
Okay.
that's it. It's all about us, my friends that are helping us out, or people who actually are helping us to build the brand properly.
Okay. No, I mean it's a perfect love story. In fact, the next question is, who thought of Lovers Rum?
That would be me. I kind of like, I'm a very stubborn person, and Ari can say that very well, and he can agree with me. It's coming for, when you're looking into every brand, and you're looking at every rum brand in the world, you're looking for something that inspire you, or make a connection with you. And back in the day, I was looking into ideas, and I thought about tarot cards. I think the tarot cards are really related to my family. My grandmother threw the card, or read the cards for the family. My mother learned from her, my sister as well. Means it was a very kind of thing. And as a being coming from Latin America, and you have a connection with Europe very, very strong, because my grandmother was Italian. You have this kind of like, if you're thinking about the tarot cards, they are it's no religious thing, but you have almost like a comic that each card represents something. You can read one and you can know exactly what it is. And I think it was that idea of bring color and bring culture and bring something personal to the brand that was different, because Ari and I, we don't have a distillery. You know what I mean? It is starting a brand is difficult, and you need quite a lot of money, and we just started
Yes.
what we have, and that was kind of like pushing for, right, let's do it. The Lovers, at the very beginning, I was very stubborn, almost like a lovers, lovers, lovers. The day that we launched this with Ari, I said to Ari, I cannot believe that we're going to launch a brand or a rum they called the Lovers. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe what I done. Can we change the name? It's pretty much I can't believe doing this. It's scary because a lot of people say, dude, are you insane? It could be the cheesiest name or the most clever name ever.
Sorry, you had to say that. Sorry, I was about to tell you maybe Lovers is cheesy or corny. I mean Lovers, but then again, it's a good marketing brand. I mean Lovers, it's and
it's all about what
okay,
everybody will remember.
Yeah, but did Ari? Okay, I don't know if Ari is back, but did you have disagreements with the name?
Sorry.
Did you have disagreements with the name?
I think. Well, we have a lot of back and forth with what's going to be first. It's not the Lovers is not the first blend. It's going to be. Well, it's not the only blend. Sorry, it's going to be all the blends coming out, and we're working now on the next one. That's going to be very, very soon. We'll let you know.
Okay.
The main thing it was kind of like the Lovers. It makes sense. It was kind of like we wanted to. Originally, it was a different rum, but the Lovers it was always kind of like first to second, first to second, first to second. And in the end of the day, I think it was kind of because it was easier, catchy, and people will understand straight away. The Lovers rum. Okay, makes sense. Because it's a lot of work towards names and how people remember things, how the association with or without. And I think it was kind of like the first rum needed to send a message. The Lovers is two people that connect, yeah, that they have similarities and they have separations. You have moments of love and moments of tension, and
conflict,
this is a blend. When you have 5 different rums that blend together, sometimes some of them stand up, sometimes come in. It's all about that, and I think it needed to have that thing.
Okay, so all right. So you mean Lovers Rum is just a pilot? So eventually you'll be coming also with different blends. So that's what's in store for the future.
It's not a pilot anymore. Yeah, but yes, we are. The work is in progress. During this period of time, we've been working on the next blend. It's sometimes difficult because we blended. The blend is coming with the thoughts as bartenders. Ari and I, we work behind the bar and we make cocktails. And we have the idea behind is always understand the flavor profile of what we do. For example. The Lovers have, if I can describe the Lovers have these moments of like aromatics at the very beginning, similar to when you have a cocktail in front of you and you have maybe the orange zest or the lemon zest on the top of the tube, and you have this aroma. Yeah. And then the first taste. The first taste is when you decide, all right, I'm going to taste, and this is quite nice. This is cool. Oh, this is not for me. This is too bitter. This is too strong. Whatever. That original taste is when the invitation that make you feel that maybe it's a little bit spicy or sweet or something, and then is what happened in the meat palate. It's something that they have longevity. It's like a really long meat palate that doesn't disappear quickly, and finalize with something that is long. As if we're looking at let's talk about Negroni. I love rum Negroni. I think it's a beautiful thing. Gin is good, but with rum is incredible, particularly with the Lovers. But you have the orange and the vermouth coming through with mixed with the rum, yeah. And the very beginning, it's aromatic. You taste it, you have the first sweetness, bang. Yeah. Then the combination of the 3 elements, or the 3 spirits, I would say that the spirits are the bitter and the vermouth, and the final thing is one of the ingredients that have that long, dry, bitter finish. And that's how pretty much the blend come along. it was not only just Ari and me, it was a group of people who works together to make that, and then make it continue going. As the next plan is slightly different, very, very different, the lovers, but it will have a link that connects one with the other one.
Okay. No, because I remember clearly this lovers rum that you always have in Buccaneers. My impression of that rum is it's pretty, how do you call this? It's pretty even. The flavor profile, I can taste some hints of banana, orange, and a bit of vanilla to it. The thing with that is from start to finish,
Yeah.
the layers of these three flavors are equal. That's one thing I liked about the Lover's Rum.
Yeah.
It's pretty smooth. The finish from the initial taste down to the finish. It is medium to long, but with the final finish, it disappears slowly. It's like when you drink to the last drop. Oh wow, that's good. It doesn't. It's not hot here. It disappears smoothly. So, but it's like
it's a long finish, but warm. No, it doesn't burn.
No,
Very
yes,
warm,
exactly.
as you say. And the main thing about that is you salivate a little bit. Means the idea is you kind of salivate it for a little bit longer. It creates the idea of moreish. That I can have another sip. And
exactly.
Relax.
Yes.
Relax. Yeah, that was kind of the idea. We created the rum, just to be very clear, we drinking neat, we drinking the rum solo, but we created the rum with a purpose to make really good drinks. That was the purpose.
Yeah.
The purpose of the rum is to make a good drink, whatever you make. Of course, it has to be one drink that it has to be perfect, or it has to be elevate that drink to make it really good, and that was the daiquiri. That's why this rum is precise for that. As if you see the label, the lady is drinking a daiquiri.
A daiquiri, yes. So, okay, let's go now. Let's go to Lover's Rum. So, who's that lady? Who is there a symbol for that lady? Inspiration.
The original label, I created the original label, and then after that, I found Michael Eriksson is an artist from Sweden. That I saw his work online, and I was looking for artists because I needed to have somebody who is know me. I can do graphic design, I can do a lot of things, but in the end of the day, you have to leave that to the people who knows how to do this. You do properly and perfectly. And we're looking for somebody, and I kind of like going back and forth. You know, you have a universe, so people can do amazing stuff. But we wanted something that is going to be that is timeless. That you can see today, you can see 20 years time, you can see in 50 years time, or maybe you can see. Imagine if you're going back in time and it's 1920s and it looks like a 1920s bottle or label. And I found Michael. I sent an email. And I said, Michael, I love your job. I love your work. We have a call. I have a project. I would talk to you. We jump in a call and explain what I wanted to do. And he said, yes, let's do it. And I said, Michael, I have no money. When we started this, I have no money. You need to trust me that this is going to work. And if it does work, I want you to do the first label, the second, the third, whatever. And after that, we'll find out somebody else to do the rest of the labels that we want to do. Perfect, let's do it. And when I sent the first 20 pages brief of all the elements that I wanted to be, the lovers is the snake and the lady. If you look into the Adam and Eve and the apple, Adam always is kind of like the guy who is never there, because Eve left with the snake to go in and eat the apple, and that was kind of like the connection. I felt that was exactly what the lover is all about, and we wanted to have a lady that represent the brand and represent the blend. The blend means multicultural. means she is a multicultural or coming from different backgrounds, means is Spanish influence with Caribbean. That's why she's a little bit brunette, but they have this kind of Latino aspect of it. Her name is Rose. That's pretty much an honor to my mother. If you look it into the label, sorry, I'm not going to go too much into it, but she has a rose that's in the particular in the center. That's in honor to my mother. She passed away on 2017, and he was everything for me. I have to say, without her, I would never be here, never be doing anything if it wasn't for her. And I think the lovers, in my opinion, we can discuss this back and forth with many, but I believe that women are the most important part of our life. They give us birth, they show us the way, we fall in love. It's not like behind a great man is a great woman. It's not that. I think if he's a good man, is a good woman next to it, and in front of him. And this is almost like realistically is an homage or putting a tribute to the women in my family and every woman. This is not just about, I want to, in my opinion, I think the label that was kind of like give that tribute to every woman that has been part of our lives. And the rum, we wanted to make a rum that more women can drink. Because women drink other things, but it doesn't drink that much rum, and maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, please leave a comment. But I wanted to get more women drinking the spirit that's supposed to be drunk by pirates. But that's old school. That's way back. We want to share, and I think that's how it came along. I don't know. At the moment, we haven't had any issues, but you never know. It's always something could happen.
Okay. All right. Wow. That's an interesting trivia. I mean, this is a very good time really to introduce also the brand of Lovers Rum to our listeners, because like I told you, it's only one bar that carries that brand, and it's about to be emptied. So hopefully once everything is A-okay, you can do some talks with whoever wants to distribute Lovers Rum in the Philippines. Now, maybe my next question would be, so what discipline or like what changed in terms of your outlook from being, let's say, a global brand ambassador, but still you're employee, right? So you're an employee of a company versus now that you're the owner of the company and you have investors, because that's two different worlds, right? So can you give us your insight about that? What do you feel, or how do you see the change?
I would be very kind of tough question, but at the same time, if it was for our investors, open or try to launch your own brand and kind of like try to get it out there how you used to do with other brands, it's two different things, two different worlds. If it wasn't for our investors, we might not be able to have the Lovers Rum as we have right now. We are in 10 countries on the first year, and unfortunately, we should be actually in a few more, but everything's slowed down. Our investors believe in our project, believe in the idea, the goal, excited. Thanks to them we could actually make this happen. Being your own kind of like running your brand stuff is a very, very difficult part. Every day is an uncertainty. You are one of the many brands around the world that they're all looking for the same thing. Maybe I have a little bit more advantage because I know more people, or I drink more daiquiris around the world, but it is difficult. And on the same time, we are, I talking to different brands. I am keeping a relationship closer to other brands that are passing for the same thing. And thanks to many of my friends that own their own brands, we can share information that I will never share with anybody else. It's an information of like how you coping with this, how you done this. Do you know this legislation? Do you know this part of the label? Is when you start your own brand, you don't have an agency. This label, I made it. Not the artwork, the entire label. Why? Because I have the knowledge, and sometimes it's about saving, but it's not just about saving, but it's a question of like, at this time, as member, I will make the first label. Not because it's my label, it's because it makes sense. Maybe over time with the company is going well and everything's going, I will have somebody to help me and do it. Transition from global brand ambassador to be a brand owner, two different things. Giancarlo Mantino is here. Giancarlo, join us.
Giancarlo Fratello. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, no, I mean it's a good thing to hear that from you because these are some of the opportunities for a bartender later on in their careers. I mean, in fact, putting up your own rum. I'm pretty sure since I've seen a few small distilleries and big distilleries at the same time, and being a sole proprietor with investors, that's really 24/7 basically when it comes to running the business. But on the lighter side, so how do you de-stress? When it comes to, well, okay, let's move a little bit presently now. So for example, since the time, I'm not gonna be, because I'm pretty sure everybody's been asking you this thing about COVID. So let's just take it a little bit simple. But how does David Cordoba distress or maybe has spent the day in terms of the present? Hello?
How I distress? I have to say, I fall in love a year ago with CrossFit. During this period of time, my box, what is the gym, how you call it, the box, the trainers keep, they say, look guys, we will continue doing training by Zoom classes. Means I have weights in the house, some equipment I had back in the day. And every afternoon, I will not say that I do it perfectly 6 days a week, but I would say most of the time I do 5 to 6 days every week. I train for an hour with them. That keeps my sanity good. I felt that hour I switch. It's almost like taking internet off, everything off. Almost like disattach my head from the world, and it's amazing. If it wasn't for CrossFit, I don't know. I love running, but unfortunately we couldn't run here in Spain, and that it was crazy. But this classes that we do, for example, I do there's 2 classes a day that we do it with people. You can actually do it on your own, but it's 1 at 12, 1 at 7. I do it with 7. It's been amazing. It's been, for me, it's the best thing. And I feel myself all the time just to make sure that I do the right exercise. I know doing this wrong, this right. One day I'm going to post all the videos that I have to say, guys, okay, I'm 47 and I'm still going, and I love it. I'm kind of like, it's addicted. It's so addicted. It's one of the things that I finished the session destroyed in the floor, completely soaking wet, but inside is an accomplishment of the day that keep me going. After that, you can have a beer or you can have a daiquiri without feeling, oh, I put too much weight or I'm drinking too much. I don't say that I'm drinking every day or anything like that, but you feel amazing. And this is what I normally do. You know,
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I remember you were doing this Muay Thai with Ian Bell and the gang, right? I remember there were times that you guys would really meet up and do those detox sessions.
We're
right?
still doing it. We're still doing it. Ian is a fantastic friend. He's done it for maybe 13 years, 12 years, I don't know. I've done with him 9 years consecutive the detox Muay Thai. I recommend it to everybody to do it. Unfortunately, there's only 10 spots in that camp that he's running every January. It's worth it, all the money. Whatever he asks for, just go for it, because it's such a 10 days of intensity, but at the same time of moments that is for you, not for nobody else. You coming back from that training feeling amazing. Starting the year like fresh, you know, you lost maybe 5 to 7, in some cases 9 kgs, and you're feeling very
Wow.
good. And you've done it twice. Vivian she's done it twice. Some other people have done it. It's amazing. One thing is 10 days of no food, no solids, no juice. It's only you get like maybe on the 3rd, 4th day you will get a soup, or maybe you're going to get a fruit. But after that is about whatever Ian's have for us. And it's 2 sessions of Muay Thai a day. It's intense. It is. For a long time. A result like that cannot be accomplished without trying to go on that extra mile. And that is the most important part of it.
Wow. Yeah, no, I've been. Yeah, okay. Well, let's see.
It's like a marathon.
Every when is that?
It's like a marathon. You want to run a marathon, you have to train at least 3 to 6 months. Let's say 3 months to not go over the top. 3 months running the marathon, you're going to be running one time or at least 2, you will get to a 35 kg that you need to, that's your high peak. That's 3 hours and a day of running. And then the day of the running, it is 42 kilometers. And it's hard work. Well, that is let's say it's about 12 weeks or 13 weeks. 16 weeks is the best time until you can prepare, you run a marathon, and you feel okay. But it's 16 weeks. This is 9 days. Okay? 9 days, or you put your body through a stress. But it's a mental and physical stress that, believe me, nobody dies. Everybody come out. It is difficult. It is. It's like running a marathon. You're running 42 kilometers. It is difficult. If you're not been training and you decided to train 2 months before or 1 month before, it is difficult. I will recommend it to anybody to do it. Ian Bell.
Yep. Ian Bell. It's a very good. Actually, I'm planning to also bring him over in Toma sessions, because I was really inspired by him, especially when he gave us the formula about the detox juice, right? With the onions, garlic, orange, etc. So, yeah. Okay. Guys, again, for those who just came in, so welcome to Toma Sessions Live with me, Richie Cruz, and our guest, David Cordoba of Lovers Rum, aka Mr. Daiquiri. So, if you have any questions, please let us know. But I think we've asked the questions we want. Okay, so from advertising, right? Let's go back to your roots.
Yeah.
What was did you just suddenly, okay, was it love at first sight thing with bartending, or was it something that developed as you were in the profession?
The reality is, as a bartender, these days people say you're not bartender anymore. And this, I work behind the bar, and when I need to jump behind the bar, I will do a full shift if it's necessary. And I think as a profession, is one profession that I learned very well, and I still been a bartender. I remember back in Argentina when I used to go into this bar I commented to before called The Spot. This is speakeasy bar. I fell in love. It doesn't mean that you never try to be a bartender. Maybe you're working in a nightclub, or you see the guys having a fun time, but it's all about mixers and beers and all that. This was the first place that I saw this enormous amount of bottles behind the bar, different sizes, different shapes, different brands, different spirits, colors. And as a visual artist, I'm not going to say an artist, but my graphic design and advertising background is each one of this is a brand. Each one of them is a face, as a promotion or as an advertising. For one part, I saw that, but then I looked into how the bartender works with them. What are the things that they make? And that automatically I was hypnotized by sitting in a bar for a few hours, having a drink, and see the guy making a drink for different people. It was just like, this is great. I don't need to talk to anybody in the bar. I just have it in my drink, and I see all the bottles and analyzing. And slowly, that was kind of like my first moment. I said, oh, I like this. I want to be. I want to learn what he's doing. I want to be behind the bar. And it was tough because I was at that time. I wasn't able to talk to anybody like one-on-one. I was like, how you doing? Yeah, fine. What are you drinking? Just a Coke. That's it. You know what I mean? It was, and then when you're going behind the bar, you force yourself to talk because you have to say, how you doing? What can I do for you? Can I offer you something? We have a menu. If no, I can offer this. Can I offer you a drink? Oh, do you want me to introduce this person or that person? It was a lot of things to learn.
Okay, so, but if you weren't a bartender, or if you didn't fall in love in the bartender, since you are a graduate of advertising, right, communication, so where do you see yourself basically if you pursued that career? Have you thought of that? Okay.
To pursue that career, I felt the advertising. Maybe I'm wrong if somebody's advertising, but it's my personal impression and feelings. It's a very tough community. It's very backstabbing, particularly if you work as a creative, because you have in an advertising back in the day, you have like the writers or the content creators, and then you have the illustrators or the people who come in with campaigns and all that. And I have a few interviews with people who pretty much you're going to get destroyed by anybody. See your portfolio from fresh for university, and they say, "Well, this is rubbish. Oh, you have no idea. This does that. What is this? I can't believe you graduated with this." Like that, and it's like you never.
The competition was really okay.
But not even a competition. You can get encouraged, or you can say, "Look, I think you should be going through this direction, or you should be improving this."
Okay.
I wasn't asking for a job. I was asking for somebody to have a look what I done, and I realized advertising was not what I wanted to do. And but when I moved to UK, that was my career. And when you're coming from a country like Argentina, I don't know if it's maybe in Philippines the same. You have a degree and you have a degree honors, and I graduated with one of the best in the university. And you go in there, and it's like you have this kind of like chip from your country say you are a university degree. You don't need to work in bars. Working in bars is for the workers, for people who don't have a university degree, and that is in your mind. And when you pass that and you realize that you can implement your creativity into cocktails and to develop menus, concept, But in my case with Bacardi, develop, for example, the true original videos, get further on with the cocktail competition, incorporated this. There's more. I done my career of advertising with Bacardi, and I continue doing it with the lovers. Means I might not be the best one. Maybe I don't win the Cannes Lion Goals or anything. I'm happy what I done.
Okay, so now, no, that makes it make it more clearer. So your main outlet, I mean, was really bartending to express your artistic side, your discipline for advertising. In fact, bartending and advertising are pretty much connected. I've talked with a few guys that do also the graphic design and whatnot. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, if you're the guy with the concept and you have this artistic touch, but you want somebody else to put it into the canvas, and your background would really come in pretty handy. So, okay, so that's a trivia again. So, True Originals was your concept also. You've thought of that.
True Originals was put it this way, the true story about that, it was an agency that I worked for, Bacardi Global Brands at that time, and they were pitching to bring something to create a community of bartenders, to create content that is related to bartender. We're talking about then. And I was there, and they needed to bring it to me. And I said to them, look, guys, I don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea of bartenders or the type of bartender. And that time, the Asian bartender, the Japanese bartender star emerged. It was a time of like 2009 with a star emerging. We start discovering this, three...
The Japanese bartenders,
shape and all that.
Yeah,
Kind of like, we sit down, we work, and my boss at that time, Tim Hawley, said, right, let's do it. We were going to do 3 videos, and it was, at that time, we do...
4.
It's 4, but...
The Samurai, the Hummingbird,
the
Apothecary,
Correct.
And Nicolas.
Exactly. And
Cuba Libre.
But the project, it was very expensive, but it needed to be, the idea for that, it was very simple. I don't need to be brand on your face. I don't need to come in for Bacardi. Back in the day, Bacardi was maybe a brand that bartenders will not use it as much as today. It was kind of like the brand that my mother, my grandmother used to drink. It means it need to be like very kind of like only you can see certain part of the bottle, and it needs to be properly. Actually, the ice, the Samurai, the ice ball, it was made by Marian Beck. Marian Beck is made the first ice ball. The cat that is done, that's my hands at that time, and it was a combination of many things. And it needed to be precise to the detail, and that was kind of like my take on that. I work. And the last episode with
Nicolas.
This project was dying. It was too expensive for Bacardi. There was no exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to move, and it was the last project. I said, all right, let's do it. We have one more video. Let's do it. I talked to Nicholas. We brought Nicholas. We done it in such a crazy place in London, and he was. We're gonna do a Cuba Libre. What is cool about the Cuba Libre? Nothing. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna pimp it up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a vanilla straw. Back in the day, when we used to work in Bramble, J. Scott used to work in different straws. And one of them is a vanilla straw. And I said, right, we're going to use the vanilla straw from Jason Scott, and then we're going to use chip the ice, and you're going to do the flair not just with a bottle. You will do it with a jigger as well, because it needs to be incorporated. And I was below the bar. When he was making the flare, I was there, and he was making the flare. It was brilliant. And
that's dangerous. It's not brilliant. It's dangerous.
But I need to be there. It was very, very. We have a great time. They are shooting. But Nicholas done a phenomenal work. It's certain Easter eggs and they are in memory to other bartenders that the video. I need to kind of show the video to show the Easter eggs. It was that movie who created the true original website. But after that, like anything else, when it is not followed up by somebody, it's almost a die off a little bit.
Yeah. No, I use those videos during my lesson because every video has an embedded lesson and it has an interpretation in it apart from the cocktail also. And until now, I mean, that's also a classic. That's also a classic advocacy. I mean, it has to be. Well, again, for all those watching, that has to be followed up in the same way Tom Cruise movie should be. There should be another Tom Cruise movie because, yeah, but what's your take on that? Because, after the Tom Cruise movie, there's this Hey Bartender documentary, right? But it's not really close to a movie. Yes, documentary. I mean, this is my opinion. I mean, the documentary was great. They interviewed a lot of different personalities. Although, like, as far as Southeast Asia, not everyone really, the whole population really doesn't really know everybody there in the video. But I mean, do you feel that we should have another Tom Cruise movie in the making in the next 3-5 years?
I
mean, to go mainstream, yeah,
I think so. I think it's right now. It's definitely a space for a good movie. As you see movies regarding food, like Chef, regarding all, that you have that. You definitely have a space to do a good movie about cocktails or a movie about bartenders, like somebody who wants to go on through in life and try to find out his own way, his own path. If you think about Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise Cocktail is the movie that inspired a lot of us. Maybe on the way, no cocktails or nothing else, but maybe it's how the flair. I never ever.
Yes. No, but the movie itself.
Part of that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. The side stories, Yeah, maybe David Cordoba can be the next Tom Cruise. We don't know.
Too old for that.
You don't look like it. Okay. Let's play a quick game. It's called a fast talk. So I'll just ask you two questions, then you need to choose between the two choices. Okay? It's pretty easy. All right. So number 1, red or white?
Red.
Okay, so there we're talking about wine. So do you have any preference when it comes to the red wine? Any grape variety?
Malbec. Argentina Malbec.
Okay, so obviously Argentina. Okay. What is your usual food accompaniment with the Malbec? When at home?
It would be steak or empanadas. Like exactly.
Okay. Perfect. Empanadas. I love it. Mwah. Okay. Next, shaken or stirred?
Shaken.
Okay. But if you were to choose a stirred drink, so apart from a Negroni, okay, what else would you do? Or what cocktail do you like stirred?
Apart from the Negroni Presidente, kind of like a Manhattan, a rum Manhattan.
Okay. All right. Next, chicken or fish?
I like both, but I would go more for chicken. They filled me up more.
Okay.
Back in the day, I used to love fish, but now it's chicken.
Chicken. Okay. Next, coffee or tea?
Coffee, 100%.
Okay. How many times a day?
Tea. Don't get me wrong, I love tea.
Yeah.
If I need to have something with flavor, and it's coffee.
Okay. So how often do you drink coffee in a day? Is it once a
Every
day,
day.
twice
Every
a
morning.
day? All right.
Morning,
Okay.
sometimes in the afternoon to early evening.
Okay. All right. Next, SUV or sedan?
I don't drive.
SUV is okay.
I don't know.
Okay, that's a trivia. But if okay, all right. Even though if in case you would own a car or a vehicle,
SUV.
SUV. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Train or bus?
Train.
Okay. All right. All right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely train. Okay. Okay. And then last, rice or bread?
Bread.
Okay.
And,
All right.
I love the bread. Rice is beautiful. Don't take me wrong. I love rice, and particularly the red rice or the black rice, Thai style. But bread for me is culture. No, my culture, every culture.
Okay. All right. So one last question before we wrap this up, because it's almost we did good with our time.
Oh my
Yeah, no,
God.
time flies. I mean, I won't. I wasn't able to watch your session with the bartender from Singapore, the one with the mask. Sorry, I forgot his name. With the long
George.
hair and the
Yeah, George
So-
was beefy. Yeah.
Yeah, Spiffy. Yes, I wasn't able
Crazy
to.
hours. I thought it was.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's
Friday.
yeah, he's amazing. He's really crazy guy. No, I love the concept that he has with this show. But one last question.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure in Singapore you've also worked with Filipinos, right? So one of which I've seen him here. Gab is used to be my student in the university. I'm really very proud of
Amazing.
this guy being the assistant bar manager now of Manhattan. So. I mean, in all objectivity, what's your impression of, because you've been to the Philippines also, right? A few times, I guess. And what do you think of the Philippines? What do you think we need? How do you call this? What else is missing? Okay, this is okay. This is pretty objective. What else is missing for us to really step up?
All right, you have
this is-
two questions in one. The
this-
first one is what I'm thinking overall the Filipinos. I think as in general, since my time in Philippines, the time that the guys on Manhattan, the majority of the guys, Adrian and the Intercontinental.
Yeah, Adrian from Kempinski. Yeah.
Exactly. Right, Kempinski. For me, amazing. Always wanted to do more. Want to go further on. Always happy. Always ready to do it. Hard workers. Incredible. Best thing. If I open a bar, I definitely would like to have a team like that working with me. 100%. Not because you only are hard workers, but because the way how you present yourself and the way how you want to do things. Yeah? And that is directly represented in the way how your culture is. You are the happiest people I ever met. I never see so many singers in one country. Everybody sings. That's incredible. I couldn't believe how many people. All right. Now, what I would say to get to the next level. Look, it is difficult to say that, because in the end of the day, I believe you guys already done amazing stuff. Why you want to change? Why you want to change is to put yourself in difficulties. To change is about leave that and going somewhere else and try to really pursue your individuality and say, I want to do this and I need to do it. And I think Filipinos is more about sharing and being with people, being with friends and helping people. Is that culture I don't say that clash, but it is and somehow a different thing. What you guys need to more people coming to Philippines, to more cocktail bars be open in Philippines, to people who can actually see what you guys are doing, because you are actually doing phenomenal work. And I think it would be great to see Filipino hospitality being taken in other countries. Because unfortunately, let's be honest, I haven't seen any Filipino bar anywhere. Maybe yes, but I haven't been. I would love to see. Imagine a tiki bar running by Filipinos, I don't know, maybe in France or London. It would be incredible. It would be out there. Because you have the Asian connection, you have everything, you know the flavors, and it means it's all of the things like that. You guys are further, you are no behind, you are doing an amazing work. The thing is, the world need to discover that, and they need to discover what you. For me, it's when you invited me to do this presentation, I love this. I love to be able to talk back to the community that I'm not able to visit for a very long time. And it's not just about the rum. The rum is my business, that's fine. And if it's in Philippines, great. But be able to say, every time I've been in Manila, it's been so quick, so fast. I couldn't even enjoy myself.
Yeah.
Every time it's been wonderful. I have wonderful evenings. I meet wonderful people. And you guys are phenomenal. Singing, always smiling, always ready for another drink, and you're drinking very well. It's like the best combination ever.
Yes, man. Yes.
But on the same time, you're very, I would say, you're very connected to your family. And sometimes bartending is a little bit a solo play kind of thing. If you're thinking about it, a lot of bartenders around the world are a little bit solo, or they have the partners, and that's it. But if in Philippines, you guys have the whole entire family. Let me invite you to my house, and it's a whole family. It's brilliant.
Nice. No, thank you. Yeah, no, I agree. It coming from you, no, that means a lot. In fact, I agree with you 100%.
Somebody called me. I apologize. Somebody called me.
Sorry, who?
I think
Andrea.
It's time. If you're going to do something, the best is start traveling and start moving around. One thing, I'm Argentinian, and traveling for Argentinians around the world and find jobs is very difficult. Means for Filipinos as well is difficult. And I think that as well is a constraint that bartenders are not able to go on and travel and work abroad. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, like I was saying, it's really all about knowing who we are and our identity, and maybe really reaching out, being more involved, and showing the world what. We're made of, because we have, well, in fact, maybe, once all of this goes back to the way it was, I'm not gonna say normal, but once everything goes back to how it was, feel free to visit and maybe spend more than 1 day, or maybe more than 2 days.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I need to be. I taking a little bit more time now to visit and have a little more relaxed time and try to learn more about the cultures and visit more friends. Now that I run my own business, Philippines is always been there in my heart, and I hope I can come one day very soon. It's been is one of my favorite countries to visit, but it's not close, and I need to do a little bit of tour in Asia before I can get there.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You can help me out to find, if you guys want the lovers and find a distributor, I will make myself over there. Or if no, Adijit would go there. He would be more than happy to go as well.
Yeah, we already have. Well, like I said, I think we have one potential distributor already. I mean, this is a fearless forecast, but we've been talking about it over the bar of Yulis. So, hey Andrew, you're next. We'll chat soon also. Yeah, because especially the Philippines, we're basically a rum country, although the other spirits are also being imported already, and in fact we have our own distillers now also. Yeah. So the climate for the market is really good. Like I said, this is just a pause. For now, it's a pause, But once everything is back to play, I think we will drink more rum, and in fact, since we have. Oh, by the way, one side note: where does your sugar cane come from?
Well, the rums are coming from 5 different distilleries or 5 different countries. They all are coming from. We don't use sugarcane juice. It's all molasses based, and they distill and then vinage on their distilleries and send it over to the Netherlands, where it's blend and bottle it.
Yeah. So headquarters is in the Netherlands. Okay.
Exactly. Okay. Netherlands side. We're working with two partners that are the oldest companies in the world. Well, not the oldest. I would say like some of the oldest companies in the world to make the blend and bottling. Means it's quite scary with the age of these guys have, but they know what they're doing and they're helping us out, and they understand what we're looking for. They understand the difficulties and the timings and all that. Believe me, the lovers, I got a little bit, I got pushed back many times. I'm like, dude, when this is going to happen? Well, we need to continue making it. The blend has to be right.
Yeah. Quality first. No, it's amazing talking to you because, like I said,
thank you.
Your journey is something that can be emulated by others that are listening right now, or those that will listen. That includes all the bartenders that are our friends and those that have been interviewed here in Toma sessions, because like our goal is to be informed, be inspired, and be involved, and like right now in my school, although we haven't really started yet because of the government is still thinking of the right timing, but I get a lot of inquiries of how do I enroll, when do you start. There's no definite answer, but the interest of people to pursue bartending is going higher and higher, and I feel that my social obligation to the community is to feed that interest. That motivation should be continued regardless of what's going on, and we always keep it positive, and that's why you are. I mean, like I said, the Philippines was lucky to have you, especially me, during your during when we did the first competition there, and that we were okay. I would say we were like the guinea pig during that time because I'm the first one, right? But everything started from there. I mean, like we learned from everything that transpired there. Although things have changed, the rules have changed, the mechanics and everything else. But then again, the discipline I learned from there. Now I know because you have an advertising background, so now the marketing aspect of the business. I mean, now I'm using that to the T. There has been a lot of things to learn, but maybe one shout out. In fact, I was able to interview or host Jin Chan, my batchmate. So
Right.
he also followed that. Yeah, we have my batchmates are pretty solid. Jin Chan, Mo Aljaf, Mo Tushmax, and Liz. Liz will be guesting also sometime July, I think. Lizaveta.
Right.
So yeah, it's. I mean, looking at these guys and what they've done after that batch is pretty amazing, and it shows a brighter future for us. Again, regardless of what happens, because I think pretty much as a bartender, we learn to survive. How do you call this? Tough times also. Literally during the rush of the shift, we survived that shift, right? But so a thing like this, again, I'm not really going. I'm pretty sure I want to slow down this discussion about what's the new normal and whatnot. But let's just talk as two bartenders enjoy. Okay, it's pretty fast. Okay, I guess now is the time, David. Can you give us your final words of inspiration to our viewers?
Put it this way, I think we're passing for an incredible time in our lives, and I think we need to be strong. We need to follow our dreams no matter what. The only people who is going to help us out during this tough time is going to be ourselves, and it's about sharing the knowledge, sharing all the things. Is desperation? Yes, a little bit, but if we help each other, we will be able to pass through this on this current time. After this, it's not about reinventing the wheel, but it's about understanding what is that our consumers want. Because we are bartenders, or we're serving people, we make them feel better on the end of the day when it's hard. Is that part of the business. We are no artists that people come in to see us. In some cases, yes, but in other ones, most of the time, is that we are just there to make somebody else's life better. And I think that's what we need to be focused on this time. Figure out how our clients or guests at the bar will continue having that moment, because they are passing for tough times. And I think if we put ourselves secondary and we try to reach out to our consumers, we will see solutions. Because sometimes you cannot see the solution if you're not going further on.
Yeah.
Let's keep it strong, keep motivated, keep sharing your knowledge, pass it along, help everybody as much as I can, and do not neglect to be healthy. Run, do exercise, do whatever you want. Always is important.
Okay, all right. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Again, David, thank you very much. It was an honor to have you here with us in Toma Sessions Live. Hopefully we can chat with you again once, maybe come Christmas or something, because the Toma Sessions is, I was inspired really by this, and I think this will go on as long as there's YouTube maybe, or as long as there's social media. We feel that this is really a good platform to continue, not just because of what's going on right now, but of course, like I was saying to the other guests, it would be a different situation if we'll do it at 9 o'clock, simply because everybody will be at the bar at 9 o'clock Wednesday. So
yeah, absolutely.
yeah, so there's probably a different schedule for this, but again, we wish you good health, and
you.
keep safe.
Same for you.
You and Paulina, and your cat, by the way, shout out to your cat.
Yes. I just opened the door for her. She was outside screaming. It's almost like a man little dog tower, if you put it that way. I'm pretty sure that she's all right.
No, that's cute. All right, so yeah, I think thank you very much, and you enjoy.
Thank you
And
very
again,
much.
please send me a message, or I will send you a message about Simon. So I'll hook you
Yes.
up with him and Yuli. So let's bring lovers here in Manila. All right.
Much appreciated. Thank you very much. You did
Okay.
a great job. Thank you for
Senor,
inviting
thank
me
you.
to talk today.
All right. Yeah. You have a good afternoon. Bye bye.
Thank you.
So we just had our interview with the generous David Cordoba, aka Mr. Daikiri. So for those who just missed it, well, we do have it already on IGTV. So hopefully, again, shout out to Simon Cot of Apoteki and Ulis of the Buccaneers. Let's try to bring Lovers Rum here in Manila, so that you can find out how delicious this rum is, made by, of course, a bartender, 4 bartenders. And of course, he is also joined by the boss, Arijit boss, who was here in the chat room a few minutes ago. So hopefully, I think we'll bring him over also. So I think, that's it. On June 1, by the way, for those who just visited us, please watch on our YouTube channel, Toma Sessions. Cheryl Cook will be our guest. She is actually the creator of the Cosmopolitan Cocktail.